Thicc mentality, adversity makes me stronger. Hey guys, it's been a while. I've been doing exams and doing so many other things. But thank you for your patience. In the last episodes, we've talked about ways of applying adversity to your life to make yourself improve, and that's what we at Thicc Mentality want to use to improve ourselves one day at a time, right? So, with most of those things, one could say they're theoretical, or one could come and say, hey, Aaron, what do I do? Like, could you give me a step-by-step, breakdown on what I can actually do in my daily life? Yes, I've said you have to find ways of introducing adversity to yourself, but sometimes you as a person might not know where to start, So, what I want to do today, and I've thought about it long and hard, and I've done a little research from different places, and I decided to come up with strategies mostly for self-awareness, because if you remember, in one of our I think second or third episode, we talked about self-awareness, confronting your dark side. I mean, the underlying message is self-awareness. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so I came up with a few things that I wrote, whose notes I wrote. I was struggling with the bottle. Yeah. Okay, some of the things might not, not all the things will apply to everybody, but hopefully you can pick what can work for you, because certainly many of the things have and still do work for me. The first one was breathe right. We take it for granted, but this breathing thing, it really helps, and I've looked into it, and it helps with meditation and things like that. For example, most of us, unfortunately, I do it as well. So, like I was saying, breathing right is something we take for granted, but usually, like I'll go into a little bit of science here. You're supposed to breathe in with your nose, right? Because there are mechanisms in or structures in your nose to both warm the air, trap any foreign objects in it, and let in a filter system basically for the air, so that the air you're breathing in is fairly warm and clean, and then supposed to breathe out through the mouth. But most of the time we find ourselves breathing in through the mouth. I have had that problem, and most of us do it subconsciously. You don't know that you're doing it, so the air you end up taking in is not the best quality, and you don't get the best the best use of your respiratory system. And when you don't get the best use of your respiratory system, there are many things that don't work right, and because the brain needs a lot of oxygen, so if you're not getting the best amount of oxygen, the best quality of oxygen in there, then definitely it's going to affect how you feel and how you do different things. So that's why during meditation, and these relaxing techniques, active forms of relaxation, they are going to tell you, breathe in through your nose, like keep it there, and then breathe out with your mouth. So you force all the air out of your lungs, so that more air can come in. And just doing that, weirdly enough, it helps actually clear your mind. I do it. I don't fully know all the science behind it, but it affects the autonomic nervous system in a certain way that I will get back to you on. So breathing right, that's one of the first things. You do that, and honestly, I just, like in the morning, if I've woken up and I'm confused and I'm just feeling overwhelmed, because with life, especially as adults, we're adulting, right? There'll be many things you have to do, and it's just overwhelming you and you can't think straight. Just 10 minutes of just doing, I don't know how it works, but it helps. It kind of clears your mind, or it makes you now say, okay, fine, that is done, and you are calmer. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, we've talked about emotions, right? We've talked about emotions and how they should not govern you and how you should not suppress them. So remember the whole metaphor of a horse rider and a horse. Now, if you create a list, an emotions versus reasons list, I got this from some book I've forgotten. So an emotions versus reasons book, like list. Sorry, you're like, okay, I feel this, and also you have to make it a habit to journal. It might seem silly, but just journal. Today I'm feeling like this. What's going on? And then now think, emotions versus reasons. Then you think, why am I feeling this way? And you have to be brutally honest with yourself. You have to be super, super honest with yourself about why you're feeling this way. Maybe I'm jealous of this and this, or maybe this and this and this. So when you have that practical conversation with yourself and jot it down for accountability, things become a bit more clear to you, because many of the times that we react in certain ways is because of a deep-seated denial and lack of accountability to ourselves. We're like, Aaron, you are angry because of this, and maybe you feel like that reason is kind of beneath you. Oh, I can't be angry because of that, I'm better than that. No, you have to be honest with yourself and write it down for accountability. Then maybe you can burn the book after. But it's better to write it down and be able to go back to these lists and see how far you have come. Another one is, make your goals public. Again, it's accountability. Like, you're like, no, this time, guys, I'm going to do this for a month. I'm not going to do this for a month. Make it public, because when you do, there'll be first of all accountability. Secondly, there'll be doubters, and use those doubters as fuel. They're like, you can't do it. You can't do it, and then you do it. You just do it. You set your goal, say, guys, and tell the person who will most doubt you, especially. Actually, put it on social media if you have to. And say, I'm going to do this. And it keeps accountability, because now if you keep it to yourself, no one is going to ask you that, hey, I thought you were supposed to do this. But if you tell people will be like, so are you still doing it? Make it public. It helps with accountability. Simple things like counting to 10. Things like that, it just relaxes your mind. It seems simple, and just count to 10 when, let's say, you are angry about something. First, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why was I angry again? Or why did I want to do that? That takes us back to the the response and versus reaction, you know. So counting to 10 helps you to calm down and get another perspective, you know. Another thing, all of this requires you to be organized. So the other thing is, you have to set time aside in the day specifically for problem solving. So that's another thing. You have to write a list. What are the problems I have right now? Yeah, so you just write the things that you need to do. You know, write the things that you need to get done. And then a certain part of the day, maybe from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. sit, okay, what do I need to do? These are the things I need to sort out. Sit down and say, come up with strategies to sort all these things out, okay? You know, the other thing is that we tend not to do, and that puts us in a comfort zone, is we are always talking to the people who are emotionally vested in us. Let's say if you have a certain problem, or maybe you're not doing something right, or something is not working for you, how about go to someone who maybe doesn't necessarily feel anything about you, or maybe he's not emotionally invested in you, and he has no motive, or he or she has no motive to maybe give you a soft answer or give you a hard answer. You know, he will give you a neutral answer without even hoping to get anything from you. Someone who stands to gain or lose nothing from, you know, from talking to you, you know. So you also need this neutral person in your life. You're like, I'll go to this guy, or I'll go to this chick, you know, she will help me out. She will tell me this and this and this and this and this. And you, of course, from time to time, you have to change these people, because I guess over time, a neutral person who you confide in becomes now emotionally invested. So this is something you have to keep. That's another way of putting adversity in your life. You know, need someone that, you know, you're friendly, you know, you're okay, but they're not emotionally invested in you, so they can easily talk to you and give you the blunt truth, you know. Sometimes your friends they're going to feel sorry for you, and they're not going to tell you straight up, you know. Or maybe some of your friends might make you make a decision because they stand to gain something. So you have to talk to someone from whom you do not expect any expectations, you know. Yeah, so because that's what emotional investment does. It will cause someone's judgment to be skewed. Of course, you have to trust. You have to also go to people who are emotionally invested in you. But from time to time, change it up a little. Go to someone and who you know is not that close to you and say, if this and this and this were to this and this and this, what would you do? You know, things like that. You know. So the last one, I think I talked about this, or if I didn't, there's a book I read or listened to, really. This is an audio book. It's called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. He had something called an accountability mirror, where he was brutally honest with himself. Let's say he wanted to lose weight in maybe 2 months, and on the mirror he would put, you are fat, you are this, brutal things, right? But he would always look at that, at his accountability mirror, and then look at himself, you know, and then say, hey, yeah, I'm fat, hey, it's tough, you know, so I have to go run. And because he was brutally honest with himself, he eventually got to his goal, you know. So my last point was, take control of your self-talk and stay synchronized. Self-talk, telling yourself, hey, Chola. You need to chill. Yeah. You know, you of course you can't self-deprecate too much, because that's just, it doesn't make sense. And also you can't just pump yourself up too much. You have to sort of balance these things out. You know. So yeah, these are more self-management strategies, really, that I've got from different places. This is not originally mine. I just did research from different places, you know. And yeah, it's we're going into the summer now, and I'll be, you know, putting out other videos from time to time. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I really appreciate the support I've been getting, especially from the people in Lublin. Thank you so much. Let's keep this growing and get better, because now we're going to be able to reach different people within the city and eventually outside. So we just need to keep it strong. Thank you. This is Aaron Ochola, proprietor of Thicc Mentality. Adversity makes me stronger. Peace.